Hi there, lovely. This is Nicoleelissa. Welcome back to my channel. I know I've been MIA, but there's a good reason for that. Today, I am going to share with you why codependents attract narcissists. As you know, my audience normally tends to be women, but this video can apply to all sexes, like all genders, orientations, etc. Make sure you watch this video until the very end. As you know, I'm an intuitive love coach, so I'm going to be sharing with you certain of the things that I've received over the years of why this sort of phenomenon happens. And I'm going to give you really powerful answers as well in how to stop that from happening at a very deep level in your being, in your soul, in your psyche, etc. So welcome back to my channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button to get more videos like this to help you attract the divine partner that you truly deserve. And also, make sure you hit that notification bell so that you get that notification as soon as I upload a video. So welcome back. As I said, lately I've been working with a lot of clients. I noticed the following thing, like as an intuitive, when I feel energy comes in waves, and I've seen so many videos about codependents and narcissists, etc. But it never dawned on me, like, hey, Nicole, like, do a video on what you know to be true, right? Like, your voice matters, and this is why I wanted to create this video. It's something that actually upsets me a lot. I do not like that. I do not like that dynamic at all, and I wanted to really bring it up to the surface. As I've been working with my clients, and that not only do I do love coaching work, I also do clearing work, emotional release work. One of the things that I see for a lot of women who are attracting narcissists and toxic people in their lives in general is because of something that I know to be called guilt consciousness. We all operate at different states of consciousness in our lives, in different areas of our lives. Some of us can be at a love frequency or love vibration or love consciousness in the areas of money or health, etc. But when it comes to love, you're like, I'm wondering why this area of my life, I don't feel confident. I don't feel like I have my sort of like magic going on. Like it's not flowing as the other areas of my life. And I find it to be because one of the areas in which we can't really either escape our energy is love, because love has to do with a lot of our core blueprint, okay, in life. So guilt consciousness says I'm not worthy, right? A lot of people who are in guilt consciousness are in fear of being wronged, fearful of doing wrong things. That's a very general way of looking at it. But another thing or another aspect of this is that they have a lot of fears of just being criticized and judged by people, either being called stupid. And I see that this happens a lot for us women. We've been programmed with a lot of energies of self-attack. If you think about it, there's guilt consciousness and there's shame consciousness. And, I'm going to be very honest. I would say half of the population or something like that at least has some elements of guilt consciousness or shame consciousness. It's our responsibility to release it. Shame consciousness says I'm not good enough. And the fear of shame consciousness for women is being shamed. It's being ridiculed, right? And when we think about it, like there's a lot of self-attack or attack between women. Women try to compete with one another, trying to be superior, etc. But it's interesting, we normalize it, but our energy or our environment can really seep in. And when we take things personal from a very early age, when you start doubting like, oh my gosh, like my mom or my dad, they don't love me. And you start thinking there must be something wrong with me. That's the first moment in time where guilt consciousness starts to seep in within your psyche, within your heart, within your core, right? Sometimes not necessarily for a core, but for some people, like it's like a doubt that seeds in, right? Like how you see that image of that snake that gets inside of your mind. So it's something that we need to not normalize. And I personally believe that like it's important to clear it, right? I grew up in an environment where I was wronged and shamed, and because of that, because I started to feel like there was something wrong with me, I started to be like, how can I fix it? Okay? And that's what kids do when they feel that their parents don't love them or that they're not like getting enough love. For a kid, it's a lot easier to say, hey, like there's something must be going on wrong with me, not with my parents. And kids take things really personal. So it might not necessarily be the truth that your parents didn't love you, but you took things personal. And one of the first things that we need to learn in life is not to take things personal. But the energy is there, right? So what happens? You try to fix things. And I noticed that what a lot of women don't realize is that some women have this energy of trying to earn love. I need to earn my parents' love. I need to earn my partner's love. And you do it in very subtle ways. I used to be an overgiver. If I used to like a guy in high school, I would be like, let me buy him a bubble gum. Let me do this. Let me go over the top. And I'm sure you can relate. So with that being said, when you're in that energy of, doing everything for the love of somebody else, what that does energetically is that it leaves like this wide open door where you are allowing predators and like energetic predators in. And we want to be very conscious about that. You're like, how come I'm attracting men who don't appreciate me, who try to like sort of crush me to the ground, beat me to the ground, like sort of energy. No matter what I do, nothing that I do is good enough for them. Well, while I'm a big believer in doing it all for love, but I mean real love, like attracting real love, that doesn't mean that you become a sucker for love energetically. I'm not judging you, okay? I'm just talking about what happens energetically. Sometimes these things that are happening at a metaphysical level, they show up as metaphors, right? And that energy where you're open, like, because you feel like there's something wrong with you. It's an energy that is stuck in time, that is fearful, that is survival-ish. It's like, oh my God, I'm not gonna get love, so I better get what I can get. That energy, you would be surprised to know that you don't have to be outwardly trying to be like, but choose me, pick me, stay with me. You don't have to be saying those things. It's a subtle energy. But the thing is that what we need to do as women or as people that are watching this video is to release those energies. That's why I'm a big fan of energy clearing. Why? Why in particular when it comes to narcissism and attracting this sort of predator energy, or guys who give you crumbs, or women who can give you crumbs, you know what I'm saying? It's because survival energies that are sort of traumatic, if you've had like PTSD about love or stuff like that, like that energy, shame and guilt, it's sort of sticky. It moves very slow. When it comes to vibrations and increasing your love vibration, this is something that you want to know. These energies can have a very big impact on us, and I do not sleep on them. I remember the first time that I was starting to study like these aspects and receive these informations around consciousness. These are the trickiest energies to release, guilt consciousness, right? So it's like they're wrapped around you. It's like they don't want to leave. Other frequencies, other vibrations are very like fast and crisp. So it is important that you dedicate time to release, and because those energies, they have a mass to them. Frequencies like joy, etc., they're very light, right? You notice it that when you're feeling joy, you feel light, like you can float, and then it can leave in a second. But when you're feeling low, when you're feeling shame, when you're feeling sort of guilt or unworthiness, you feel like, oh, right? Like, so it's a similar thing. Imagine your energetic field. So these energies are there. And what you're trying to do is release the guilt consciousness or the unworthiness just at the level of your mind, which is also, without training, a very slow frequency. What we need to do is release these frequencies from your being, like the places where you keep it stuck, like in your aura or in your energetic field, in your chakras, wherever you call it. All of these things have a mass to them. This is not like woo-woo talk, even though I can be very woo-woo. I'm talking very like science-based right now. We've all gone to a house where it feels like super heavy, right? And then you go to another house and you feel amazing. It's just vibration, right? So guilt consciousness, shame consciousness, not only does it weigh down your energy, it's something that another person can pick up, right? And if you are not paying attention to your energy, even if you don't think it's there, right? You have to release it, right? It's important to release it, because we have all been affected by guilt or shame consciousness at different levels, right? It has affected our self-esteem at different levels. So for some of us, yes, talking ourselves out of it works. But for some of us, it's also like, oh my God, I've tried to talk myself out of this for years and it hasn't really been like released. Well, it's because it's somewhere still in your energy. So it's not about wronging or shaming yourself again. The answer to it is about loving yourself and about doing whatever it takes to release it from your energy. And it's possible, provided that you commit to your own journey, right? It's very important. So when you start to release these energies, you start to feel lighter, you start to feel better about yourself, and there's like no resonance. There's no open doors or holes like in your energy where somebody can take advantage of you, okay? It is about kind of like doing a decluttering of your aura, of your soul, so that there's no space for crummy people that are very weird or that can take advantage of you. It's like you're restoring your aura back into wholeness, to worthiness. And that is very important. Okay, that's so important. Having like a sealed energetic aura where you are not allowing toxicity to come in. This is so important. So I've been working this a lot with some of my clients lately. And I mean, I've been there, right? And it's about claiming back your sovereignty. So how long could this take? It depends. It really depends. I've heard lifetime. I've seen people work through this like 4 years, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year. And they have attracted healthy partners, like their divine partner, etc. Even before they finish their work. Does that make sense? No, I'm not gonna say does that make sense. That's something that it's something that I'm trying to stop. It makes sense. So it's not about like, oh my God, I need to do this for 4 years before I attract my partner. No, the better you are at releasing this energy from your aura, from your energy, the more in tune you are, the more aligned you are, the more you love yourself, the more you feel that love, and the more that self-love stays, right? Because you're bringing coherence to your energy. And with that being said, this is so important. This is the value of this work. It's like you're not either attracted or pulled by these people anymore. These people cannot even read your energy. They're repulsed by it also because they notice that with you, they cannot manipulate you, right? And you're going to notice it. It's like, oh my God, they're not even like the weird people, creepy people. They're not reaching to me anymore. Thank God, right? So that's very important because energy can be felt. Like, so it's like, oh, I can sort of attract this woman. I can like give her a little bit of love and then take it all away and destroy her confidence. It's insecure people that do that. Now, the other importance of releasing this is that once you start clearing up in the guilt consciousness, the shame consciousness that exists within us all, especially women, like that is how they abuse us energetically. Like they make us fight ourselves. They make us try to be superior than other women. They try to fight, trying to be better and all those things. We call it perfectionism, etc. But behind all of that, what I've seen is shame, not a woman who feels at peace and free to be herself and with a deep knowing that she deserves to be loved for who she is, without stress. And that's something that I stand by. I'm not going to go deeper into that because I know that some women would be like, well, what do you mean by that? What do you mean? I can go deeper with that. I always say no judgment, just curiosity. If you're open to know more, let me know and I can do a video around that. Now, what happens with guilt consciousness and shame consciousness is that it makes you feel bad about yourself to the point where you sort of like you lose consciousness or you lose sight of the truth that somebody is not treating you right. It affects your intuition. It affects your clarity in choosing the right people because, like I said, people who have a lot of guilt consciousness or shame consciousness, some of them have this energy of trying to earn people's love, right? Some of us who grew up with maybe like narcissistic parents, what happens, or people around us, they don't let you be, right? They don't let you form yourself in a way that is authentic and whole. They make you feel like you have to obey them until like, or submission, right? That energy of submission, that's another angle that attracts narcissists, because you don't feel like you have the right to be. A lot of men, people shame women in many different ways, you know, through her sexuality, her expressing herself, her expressing her upset. She's wrong for speaking, wrong for being, wrong for crying, wrong for everything. And so these things can affect our energy. And what I recommend is kind of like bathing, right? We bathe every day. We need to really clear up our energy, right? Because you're trying to create a different future and you're not working on your energy. One of the things that stops you from doing this work is shame, is guilt. It's like a sword. I want to say it's like a sword, baby. Like it's a sword. It's like a double-edged like sword, because you're trying to heal from it, and at the same time you're letting that affect you. So that's very interesting. If you're going to do this work, I recommend that you understand what's going on. Okay, like this is so important. You have to understand what's going on. The answer is to love yourself, and because you're like, shame, when you're ridden by shame, you feel like what people think about you can affect you so badly, right? You're like, oh my God, do you know the amount of people that like have shame about doing love coaching? They're like, oh my God, like I don't want my friends to find out. Look, if you're trying to do this work, and I admit it, like we can all have this, but if you're trying to do this work, you have to know that somewhere along the way, you have to release that fear or shame about what people would think about you and think that you're not good enough for doing this work. Because like I said, this is a clear example where you see that it affects your consciousness. It affects it, like that shame can stop you from doing the work that's going to heal you. And it's very interesting because people, it's like, why is it that people run away from getting help, right? You can see there in action how that is ego. But at the same time, it keeps you attracting these toxic people. And you have to see this. You have to help yourself, right? That is how people take advantage of you, right? But when you are whole, like you're clear, it's like what you're doing is that you're releasing shame from your psyche. Ladies, shame is a thing that makes people abuse us, that make us like operate in a small way, that has us being catty and competing with each other. And we're better than that. You want to fight the system, you want to do something. It's not about fighting the system, it's about becoming whole again. The feminine energy is an energy of community and love between people, not about fighting and feeling shame and ridiculing and shaming other people. We are the ones that are bringing toxicity to ourselves. And it starts with us at least having the consciousness. I started all of this, like my work, even like with shame. I'm not going to hide from that, right? But it took accountability and responsibility on my end to just understand when I was the one that was being toxic in my thoughts, right? But I had to surrender and I had to heal. So if you want to attract better people in your life, you have to do your work. You have to, shout it through the roofs. Let people talk about you. Do what you need to do for you, right? Do what you need to do for you. So these things affect when we are threatened with when we're threatened with what people will think about us. And at the same time, I feel like it has to do with that energy that I said. It's like when you are like forced into submission, when you grew up in a codependent environment, like with narcissists as well, like they make you feel like they have power over you. So they make you feel like people have power over you. Let's think about geniuses like Albert Einstein, right? People in their shame energy, they were like, oh my God, he's ridiculous, right? But it took years for people to realize how brilliant he was, right? So do you know the weight that could be lifted off of your shoulders and how much you can protect yourself by doing this work now, right? Because people who have shame in their frequency, they would rather fit in. They want to protect their image. And that energy of protecting their image even if they're with a narcissist, they don't reach out or get the full help that they can, right? Because shame is a conversation that stops them in many hidden secret ways. So if you're trying to get help and you want full healing, my recommendation is go to the core of all of this. Not only talk about it, but my invitation is that you clear it energetically as well, so that that mass can be released from your energy completely. And I've had so many miraculous moments during the healing process where somewhere, like the energy just like pops leaves. And I'm like, oh, I don't remember why I was thinking about that way anymore, right? So keep at it, keep doing your work. And it's about wholeness. Seal up your energy. But it's interesting, seal it up back into wholeness. That doesn't mean block your energy in protection, in fear of attracting it again. Because when you protect your energy and you create these walls, then you can block love away. It is about releasing of the energy and breaking free from that consciousness, not just vibration of shame or guilt or fear in your frequency. The more you become sovereign and confident in your being, right, and you release these energies where you no longer feel like obligated to please people, the easier it is for you to attract real and conscious love. I'm a big believer that everybody deserves love. I'm also a big believer of, people who've gone through, PTSD, people who are empaths who've gone through like codependency. Like, we all deserve love, right? And no matter what, you're strong, you're powerful, you're capable. And of course, I'm here to help you. Like, you deserve love. I know that when we've had these energies where we've been sort of like abused emotionally, it can be confusing to release it. But go to somebody that can help you, like an expert in the field, energetic release as well. Like, that's very important. That's so important. That's really important. And if you would like to know how I can help you, Goddess of Love, my signature program, is starting the first week of October. And it's a 7-month program where I help you really feel good, radiant in yourself. And we release all these sort of blocks of like codependency, all of that, so that you feel really confident. You don't feel like you have to hide or protect yourself, and you attract really healthy love for you in your life. So I'm going to put the link below if you're interested to know more about Goddess of Love. The way that I do this, because it is a high-level coaching program, I talk with you over the phone and we discuss if it's the right fit for you. I share with you how I can help you, what I'm noticing like in the energy, and how it will be beneficial for you. And if I feel like somebody else can help you, I'll tell you that as well. It's a really important thing. You deserve love. And it's really fun when people can't manipulate you anymore. That's the gift. So I'm excited and I can't wait to hear your thoughts about this video. Please share it with the people around you. And this work is important. Like I said, your work is your work, but freedom is possible and freedom is your right. And you deserve to be free and you deserve to be loved for who you are. Take care.